guys, it's week 2 of our online PE sessions. You might notice we're indoors today. It's a bit cold and it's a bit snowy outside, but there's no stopping us here at Kixx. We're going to keep you active, we're going to keep you working hard, and we're going to learn some more things in today's online PE lesson. Right guys, time to get started. Now before we do, we're going to do a little recap on last week's session. So those that joined in, remember it was throwing and catching. So what we're going to do, we're going to make our warm-up all about throwing and catching to see what you can remember. Today guys, I'm joined by Coach Jamie. Hi guys. And he's going to be taking us through our warm-up. Now all you need to do to set up this warm-up is nice and simple. We've got lots of things, you can use whatever you've got at home. We've set up a target area in the middle and some markers where we're going to throw from. Now on the markers, we've used some different things. We've got some bean bags, some tennis balls, some bibs. Get imaginative guys, use anything you've got at home. Use some socks, use a t-shirt, use anything you can find to throw. Don't use your mum's vase though, she won't be very happy with that. Coach Jamie, what you're going to do, you're going to start behind the marker. You're going to pick up whatever you've got to hand, and all he's going to do is he's going to try and throw it, land it in our target area. Once he's done that, we're looking for a shuffle to the next marker. Let's have a little watch, Coach. Here we go. Good job, Coach Jamie. Now, guys at home, did you notice then how the different objects that he threw reacted differently? That's something to think of when we're doing throwing and catching, okay? So if you're using a ball, it might roll. If you're using something that's quite flat, it'll stay still. So have a little think, have a few turns at it, guys. See how many times you can land something in the target area, then come back and I'll tell you what we're learning in today's lesson. Right then guys, so today's lesson we are doing running and jumping. So we're going to work on a few things, we're going to look at what we can do to be amazing at those two skills. I'm joined by Coach Matt.
Hi guys!
Like last week, we're going to start off nice and easy, we're going to make it trickier and trickier. So stick with the video, take it at your own pace, make sure to keep an eye on all the coaching points that we give throughout. And don't forget as well, let us know how you're getting on in these videos guys. We can't wait to hear how much progress you're making. Right guys, so we're going to start nice and easy like I said. So Coach Matt, all you're going to do, you're going to use the obstacles we've put out, and all we're looking for is going a nice straight line, but when you come up to our obstacles, you're going for 1 foot between each of the gaps. Show us how it's done. Fantastic. So for this one guys, you need to make a line like this. So you need a starting point, and you need at least 5 or 6 obstacles in the way that we're going to leave a gap between, just like Coach Matt did, to put a foot between each gap. Get that set up, pause the video, come back and we'll go through the next part now. Right guys, we're all ready to do it now. So we're going to go through it again with Coach Matt, but I can hear you thinking, we're doing running and jumping. What has this got to do with running or with jumping? Now there's 2 things that we're going to look at today as our key coaching points. And that is, we're going to look at balance and coordination. So we all know balance. If I'm standing on one leg and I'm wobbling all around, I've not got very good balance. Think about that if we're running. If we're running and we've not got good balance, you might fall over, we're not going to be able to run as fast as we might. Coordination, what we're going to use that guys, what I want you to think of is look at Coach Matt, he's super tall, which means he's got to tell his brain, so his brain's telling his feet where to move. It's got to get all the way from the top, all the way to the bottom. So what we need to do is make sure our feet are working nice and fast, which is what this is all about. So Coach Matt has to get his feet moving nice and fast, 1 foot between each of the gaps, and he's going to keep going and going until he can do it super fast. So let's have another watch, guys. Keep an eye on his feet, okay? Now what we need to see is that his foot goes between each of the gaps and it doesn't touch one of the cones. Let's keep a close eye on that. Off we go, Coach Matt. Right then guys, it's challenge time now. So just like last week, I'm going to give you a little task. Have a watch Coach Matt's example, pause the video, and then have your few turns. So remember, we're looking at our coordination now. So are we getting those feet working with our brain in time? So Coach Matt, this time, instead of putting 1 foot between each of the gaps, you're going to put 2 feet between each of the gaps, okay? and then just have a little jog back, Coach Matt. So that's number 1, guys. So you're putting 2 feet between each of the gaps before you move to the next one. Next one, Coach Matt, what we're going to look for is you put your foot between and we do a little shuffle side to side between each. Guys, keep an eye on his feet, see what he's doing for me. And a little jog back, great work, Coach Matt. So we've got number 1 is 2 feet between. Number 2 is a little side shuffle. Number 3, Coach Matt, have you got your dancing shoes on?
Oh, we've got the dancing shoes on.
What we're going to do for this one, we start side on, and we go 2 feet in, 2 feet out, and we count. So we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, Coach Matt, you're going to do it faster than that. Are we ready?
A little bit faster. Let's go.
Awesome, good work, Coach Matt. Now guys, I asked you to watch what Coach Matt's feet were doing. So our key coaching point for this one, and I want you to remember this, is whenever we're doing some running, we're not flat on our feet. So the idea is we're not making our feet as big as possible on the floor. We need to be up on our toes, on the balls of our feet, because that makes us be able to run fast, react, move different directions. So whenever we're doing this, we don't need to be flat on our feet. We need to be up on those toes, up on the balls of our feet, ready to move quickly. So remember, movement number 1 is 2 feet between the gaps. Movement number 2 is our shuffle side to side. Movement number 3 is those dancing shoes. 2 feet in, 2 feet out. Check it out on the screen, guys. Pause the video, come back for our next activity. Okay, good job so far, guys. This time we've got help from Coach Oliver.
Hi, guys.
Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the running a little bit more. So we've done the coordination. Remember the other one I said, balance. We're going to look at that now. Coach Oliver, you've given him a little hoop jump in there for me. Awesome. Now, just to start with, all we're going to do is just get those running movements in action. Now, I want you to do, Coach Oliver, little jog on the spot for me. Fantastic. So get in your hoop, guys. Get in your space, whatever you can use to keep your space. Just have a little jog on the spot. 30 seconds on the timer. Go. Okay, we've got our running movement sorted now, guys. So what we're looking at, remember, is our balance. So Coach Oliver, what you're going to do is he's got to try and make sure his feet always stay in that target area. You guys can make it bigger, make it smaller, however you think you're going to do. Test yourself a little bit, guys. Now, what we're looking for our balance, okay, is are we staying in a straight line? So imagine you're going to get a pen and draw a big straight line all the way down the middle. So it's going to go through your nose and all the way down to your toes. Now what we need to do when we're running is make sure that line's up straight. We don't want it to be wobbling to the sides because that's when we start falling over and losing our balance. And what we're going to do with Coach Oliver is we're just going to practice some running movements but super slowly. And all we're going to do is when he lifts one knee up as if he's running, he needs to lift the opposite arm up because that's what's going to keep that balance, guys. Remember that big line down the middle, and then we just keep going side to side, and as he brings the knee up, he brings the opposite arm up, okay? Now this is what I want you to do. I want you to start like Coach Oliver's doing here, and then as you get better, go a little bit faster and a little bit faster. And what I want you to do as your little challenge is get your grown-up, get somebody to set 60 seconds, that's 1 minute on the clock, and I want you to see if you can do it super fast, but making sure your feet land in our target area. Give it a go, guys. Come back, we'll do the next part. Right, guys, time to move on to our next part. So we've done the running, it's time for the jumping. So as you can see, I've set up some hurdles here. You guys can use anything you've got at home. Could use some t-shirts, use some cushions, use the dog. Probably check with the dog first though. Use absolutely anything that you can jump over. Now all we're going to do, like we always do, start off nice and easy. So Coach Oliver, all you're going to do, go through the hurdles, jumping over to the end, wrap round back to the start. Off you go, Coach Oliver. And through again for me. Now, all we're looking for on this first turn, guys, is can you get over without hitting the obstacle you've put in the way, and are we going in a straight line? Remember that coordination we spoke about? That straight line down the middle, is it standing up nice and tall? Now, we're going to watch him again. So once you've had your first few turns, we're going to change it. And what we're going to look at today for our key coaching points are our feet and our knees. So keep an eye on Coach Oliver's feet and knees. And what he's going to do when he comes up to a hurdle, his feet need to go together, okay? He needs to bend his knees down to push up and get all that power going up into his jump. Then when he lands, those knees need to bend again to take all of that energy that's coming down from the jump. Let's watch really closely. Awesome job, Coach Oliver. Guys, I want you to have a few turns of this at home, okay? If it's easy, make your obstacles a little bit further apart so that we're doing the jump, few little steps, jump, few little steps, okay? But just focus on the feet together, the knees bending, we're pushing up, getting all that energy going up, but when that energy comes back down, make sure those knees are bending for our landing. Give it a go, guys. Come back for the next part. Right guys, competition time today. We're going to go for you guys at home against Coach Jamie. Now we're working on our jumping. Now this is the speed round. So we've used our hurdle. You guys need to set up an obstacle and stand at the side of it. Okay? If you got on really well in the last one with our jumping, try and use a bigger obstacle. But if you still find it a bit tricky, use a smaller one. Now Coach Jamie, just show us. We're going to bounce over the top, over the top. Now every time his feet touch the floor, that's 1 point. Okay, now what we're going to do is 30 seconds on the clock. We're going to speed Coach Jamie's up for you guys to watch. We're going to count as well, okay? And then it's your turn at home to see if you can beat his score. We ready, Coach Jamie?
You're up.
Steady, go! Stop there, Coach Jamie. Good job with your score. Guys, we're going to stick Coach Jamie's score up on the screen. See if you can beat it. Set 30 seconds on the clock. Don't forget, let us know how you're getting on. Put it in the comments. Let us know who can get the best score out of all of our Kixx Education schools. Right then guys, it's time to throw everything we've learned today together in a little game to finish today's lesson. So what we've got Coach Oliver at our starting point. So just mark a starting point. We need a finish point, and what we've done is we've used some of the small balls over there. They're our targets. They're the pieces of treasure we're going to be stealing. Coach Oliver has got to make his way through. I've put a few jumps here. Use as many or as few as you like. All I want Coach Oliver to do is on his way there, he has to do a jump. On his way back, he has to do a jump. We're going to set 30 seconds on the timer again, and we're going to see how many pieces of treasure Coach Oliver can steal. Now remember, it's running and jumping, so we're not taking our time with this. We're going as fast as we can. For you guys at home, if you're doing this indoors, it's going to be a little bit smaller. If you can do it outside, great. Make it bigger. Challenge yourself on this one, guys. Let's watch Coach Oliver. You ready? Go! She's going over a jump. Fantastic. Steal a piece of treasure. Take one back. Big jump. Fantastic. Pops it back in there. Now remember, we're looking at our jumping and our running. When he's running, is he staying up straight? Is he keeping that line up for our good balance? When he's jumping, are those knees bending, sending all that energy up? And when that energy is coming back down, are his knees bending again to absorb all that energy? Stop there for me, Coach Oliver. That's a fantastic job. Guys, give yourself a go at home. 30 seconds on the timer. Let me know how you go. Welcome back, guys. So, we're going over what we've learned in today's session. Coach Matt?
Okay, so the running element, you've got that one from running. Again, having our knees slightly bent, slightly forward, body nice and straight. The centre line that Coach Tom spoke about, and on the balls of our feet, we need to try and use the opposite arm, the opposite leg for our running motion, keeping us nice and straight and keeping nice and balanced, Coach Tom.
Fantastic. And some jumping action, Coach Jamie?
And yeah, remember when we're jumping, we must keep our knees nice and soft. We need to keep our head over our base of support and lean forward ever so slightly. So when we jump, we're going to move forwards. When we're landing, we want to absorb that energy through our knees, so a nice soft landing and soft knees once again.
Fantastic, guys. And from me, the most important thing I want you to take away from these sessions are that they're fun. We want you to have fun. We want you to enjoy keeping active, staying healthy, because that's what's important. So well done today, guys. Big well done from me, all the coaches and Coach Oliver. We hope you've had fun, and we'll see you next week for next week's lesson.